So as I do these videos, I pretty much just go through each section. It's presented in the textbook, so you can always use that as a resource. And then, I add some things and some tips as I do the videos, but I just go through the examples so it's in line with what the textbook that we're using presents. You may have noticed that I didn't say anything about real numbers in the last video. We're not quite ready to talk about real numbers because we need another set of numbers before we get to that. But back on rational numbers here a little bit, and we covered this already, but this is example 1, writing integers as rational numbers. Okay, so if I have a 7 and I want to write it as a rational number, I just put 7 over 1. Ta-da! If I have 0, I'm going to put 0 over 1. Now, you could say, well, what if I want to put 0 over 2? That equals 0. And you're right, it does. You can't make the denominator 0, though. Not 0. Because that means something else, and when you take calculus, we'll talk about that. But for now, I would just make it 0 over 1. Think of the division bar or the fraction bar as dividing, right? So 0 divided by any number except 0 is going to be equal to 0. And then what are we going to do with a negative number? Well, you could put negative 8 over 1. Now, can you make that 1 a 2? No, that'd be a different value because that 8 divided by 2 would be 4. So that would be different. Now, what about that negative sign? You can put the negative sign in the numerator, negative 8 over 1. That's the same thing as if you put the negative sign out to the side. And you'll see it written that way. Sometimes, depending on the textbook, sometimes it's hard to see the negative sign because it looks like it's kind of blending into the division bar. You can put the negative sign in the denominator. There are times when we like to do that, but usually we use one of these two. We just want to be clear that we know that it's negative. And that's all I'm going to say on that one.